3 common misconceptions that I want to quickly explain for beginner day traders. These are things that I've seen time and time again. I've been in the coaching, teaching business, whatever you want to call it, for over 10 years. I've been trading for over 20. I have a podcast where I've talked to literally hundreds and hundreds of people, so I've heard hundreds and hundreds of stories. Not that any of that makes me actually know this, but it does at least suggest that I have enough data where I've noticed some patterns. And these patterns are what I want to talk about here. And I'm not asking you to trust me with any of this. So go find somebody that you do trust and then say, hey, there's this guy and he was saying these are some misconceptions. Is that trustworthy advice or not? So I'm not asking you to trust me. I'm certainly not saying because I've been in the business for a long time, then that means I'm some sort of expert. Those are not my claims. These are just patterns that I've seen and noticed, and I want you to be aware of them. So let's get to misconception number 1, because there's a lot of bad misconceptions out there.
That's not true. So get your facts straight.
And probably the most common is, and it makes total sense. So nobody is stupid for, falling for this misconception, but hey, I want some money. I need to make some money. Oh, okay, I've heard of this trading thing. Let me get into trading because that's where you make money. And your mind goes, okay, let's make money. Let's make money. Let's make money. But that's just not true. At the core, trading has zero to do with making money. You've got to be able to manage risk. Risk management is what it's all about.
You better check yourself before you wreck yourself.
There are lots of people, and maybe you've already been here depending on how much of a beginner you are, but they're making money. They're making money. But what they really don't know is they don't actually have a strategy. They're just kind of getting lucky. And then it just takes 1 or 2 trades and a bunch of gains are wiped away. Why? Well, because it has nothing to do with winning. They were winning a bunch. They were on a winning streak. They were winning. And then just like that, it's all gone or significantly gone. Well, because they didn't actually know how to manage risk. So that is misconception number 1. It has nothing to do with making money. Trading has everything to do with risk management. Now, number 2, the other thing that needs to be very, very aware of is this. What ultimately matters most within a trading plan? A lot of people go out there and they think, okay, I got a great strategy. I have my entry points and my stop loss and I have my indicators, and they do. And they have a good strategy. They have a valid strategy. But they get the one thing wrong. And the thing they get wrong is the position size. They put too much into the trade. And position size often gets knocked way down the totem pole in terms of importance, in terms of what matters for traders. People say you need a great trading strategy, and that's true. But within the trading strategy, one of the most, if not the most important part of it is your position size. Because even if I concede and say you have a great strategy, it's valid, it works, not it works, because for this reason I was going to show you, it's not going to work, but it's valid. Well, it doesn't matter, because if you are too nervous, if you have too much in the trade, things are just not going to work for you. You don't want to be nervous while you're trading.
Drink.
And that's one of the telltale signs that maybe your position size is too big. If after a trade, even if it's a winning trade and you're like, whew, I do think I need a drink, I need a cigarette, I need to go punch up, I need something. Yeah, you probably had too much money in the trade. You need to find that common ground, that middle ground, where you can get in and you can just be okay. When the trade's over, you literally don't need a drink. Your heart's not pounding, you're not sweating. If you're sweating, if you're nervous, like I said, if you need that drink after a trade, that would be a sign that you have too much into a trade. But again, that's a big misconception that it's all about just you have a great strategy. Well, you can have a great strategy, but if your position size is off, that great strategy is going to fall apart because you're going to be a nervous wreck. You're not going to be able to follow any of your rules. Even if they are good quality rules, you're still not going to be able to follow them because, you're too nervous. Your position size is wrong. So yes, you got to have a good strategy. That's true, but that's also a misconception because you got to make sure you understand what position size you should be using. And then the third misconception has to do with backtesting. And how backtesting works is, let's just say that you take a sample size and I did this based on 10,000 trades, and I'm just totally making that up. But this represents 10,000 trades over here of some sort of strategy, some sort of kind of rules that you have run over a course of 10,000 trades. And then over here, it spits out some sort of, and I'm just totally making this up. Let's say, okay, and you're going to be at 72% win rate. And then down here, there's a bunch of other stats that go with it. But this is a big misconception in terms of, okay, great. I've just discovered a 72% win rate strategy. No, you haven't. Because the data, yes, it's true, but from a practical point of view, it's misleading you.
That's not entirely accurate.
How so? Well, the simulator or the backtesting, software is assuming that, okay, this is what happens if you took those 10,000 trades. In the real world of trading, would you have been able to take all 10,000 of those trades when all the criteria was met? Would you have taken 10,000 trades? No, you definitely would not have. Because, are you going to be at your computer all day long? Are you going to actually catch and locate every single time those criteria were met? No, you're not. And that's just reasonable, right? But that's the thing that people forget is that a simulator, and when you're backtesting, it's a computer. It can literally okay, there it is, doom, there it is again, and it's testing all these. So sure, it is a 72% win rate or whatever the stats are, but that's under the assumption that you would have actually taken every single trade in every single moment that it occurred. And if you're running a computer program, maybe, but are you sure you have enough capital to pull that off? Is there any sort of settlement rules that might get in the way? There's a lot of other things that a simulator is not going to, a back tester, and I keep calling it a simulator because that's what you're doing. You're simulating what would happen over over this data and then getting results from it. But are you sure it's going to be a clean, smooth transition to when you're actually doing it? Probably not. More times than not, there are hiccups, and it's not a totally beautiful transition. There's other things that weren't considered. So that's a big misconception is, I back tested this strategy. It's at this, and this. And it's like, okay, I believe that's true, but I'm not quite sure that's going to be the same for you unless you plan on literally taking every single trade. In my example, are you going to be taking all 10,000 of those trades? So that's another misconception that you need to be aware of is back testing. I'm not saying it has no place. I'm just saying that data can be a little bit misleading, and it's not like it's some sort of holy grail you just discovered or anything like that. So be aware of that from that angle. So those are, like I said, 3 very common misconceptions that I've come across and that you need to be aware of. And if you're aware of them, then you can at least have a much better idea and save yourself from wasting time and make sure you're focused on the things that actually matter. So I hope this helps. Feel free if there's any other misconceptions that you've seen come up time and time again, leave those down below. But yes, be aware of these. And there are others, but like I said, these are definitely the 3 that I see happen way more often than other ones. So be aware of them, save yourself some time, save yourself some headaches, and save yourself some money. So if you enjoy these, hit that like button. If you're not yet subscribed, hit that subscribe button to the channel, and thanks for watching. First off, thanks so much for watching the entire video. Real quick, before you go, I want to invite you to a live webinar, web class, training, workshop, online event, whatever you want to call it, but it will be me live revealing to you what I've discovered that has allowed me to transform myself from being an employee to being my own boss, including how I had only 1 losing day out of 73 days in total. I'm going to cover 3 keys that have helped me unlock profitable consistency within the markets. The first key is super weird, but in a productive type of way. The second key is super awesome because it quite literally is wired into our DNA as humans, making it very easy to use. But in a cruel way, this becomes a pitfall for many traders. I'll explain it all though, including how to avoid the pitfall that it creates for some. And the third key, when you hear it, sounds way too good to be true, but it's not, and I'll show you how it all works. Then at the end, I open it up for a question and answer session that is, again, totally live. Even if you can't make the live session, please still sign up as it will be recorded, and you can go back and watch the replay that I will send you. Click the image on the screen or click the link down in the description box so you can get the date and time and claim your spot, which I should note is limited due to the fact that this truly is a live event. If you have any questions, let me know. If not, I'll be seeing you soon.